Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0457 is a diagnostic trouble code that indicates the EVAP, evaporative emission control system, has detected a leak or that the fuel fill cap is loose or missing. The EVAP system plays a crucial role in preventing fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere, thus contributing to air quality control. The fuel fill cap, located on the fuel tank filler neck, must be properly secured to maintain the integrity of this system. When the system fails to retain pressure, the vehicle's onboard diagnostic system will trigger this code. It's important to address this issue promptly, as it not only affects vehicle emissions, but may also lead to fuel evaporation and inefficient performance. In investigating this code, all freeze data and a snapshot of any current operational states should be recorded, as they provide insight into the conditions at the time the fault was detected. The main components affected by DTC P0457 include the fuel fill cap seal, and the EVAP canister vent shut valve. The fuel fill cap is designed to seal the fuel tank and prevent fuel vapors from escaping. It's typically located at the top of the fuel tank filler neck. It must be closed properly to maintain system pressure. The fuel fill cap seal, which sits between the cap and the filler neck, also plays a crucial part in this sealing process. If either of these components is damaged or not functioning properly, the EVAP system cannot operate effectively, leading to this diagnostic trouble code being set. Additionally, the EVAP canister vent shut valve, which regulates airflow, is vital for maintaining system integrity. A malfunction in this valve can also trigger the code and lead to improper fuel vapor management. Several possible causes can contribute to the setting of DTC P0457. First, a loose fuel fill cap is a common issue. If the cap is not secured correctly, it can lead to vapor leaks. The indication is that the cap should say "tighten to click," providing a clear operational guideline for proper assembly. Second, a damaged or missing fuel fill cap seal may also lead to failure in maintaining system pressure, ultimately resulting in vapor escape. Additionally, the tether cord, which keeps the fuel fill cap attached when it is open, plays an important role in preventing damage to the cap and seal. If this cord becomes trapped or caught beneath the cap, it can cause sealing issues. Each of these factors must be carefully considered to address the error effectively. The symptoms associated with DTC P0457 predominantly include triggering the check engine light on the dashboard. This indicator is a reminder that there is an issue that requires attention within the vehicle systems. Additionally, if the EVAP, evaporative emission control system, is detecting a leak, it can lead to an overall failure of the system, affecting vehicle emissions compliance and performance. Furthermore, if there is a significant leak in the system, drivers may notice a fuel odor, especially when the vehicle is stationary. This scent can be concerning not only due to potential vehicle malfunction, but also for safety and environmental reasons. Therefore, addressing this DTC promptly is important, not just for regulatory compliance, but also for the vehicle's overall functionality. The first troubleshooting step involves checking the fuel fill cap. It's essential to verify that the cap is not only present, but is also the correct type for the vehicle. The cap should indicate "tighten to click." When tightened, it should turn approximately 1/4 turn after it's tight and then click. This clicking sound acts as an auditory confirmation that the cap has been secured properly. If the cap is identified as loose or missing, immediate action should be taken to either replace or tighten it. Once corrected, it is advised to proceed to step 20 in the troubleshooting sequence. However, if the cap is correctly installed and secured, the technician should move forward to step 2 to further investigate potential issues. The second step in the troubleshooting process is to examine the fuel fill cap seal and the mating surface of the fuel fill pipe. The seal should be intact and not showing any signs of damage or wear. This fuel fill cap seal plays an essential role as it helps prevent fuel vapors from entering the atmosphere. If the seal is missing or damaged, it will create an immediate failure in the EVAP system. In addition, the technician should inspect the mating surface of the fuel fill pipe to ensure it is free of debris or corrosion, which could impede the seal's effectiveness. Furthermore, it is crucial to check that the tether cord, which is designed to keep the fuel cap attached when opened, is not caught under the cap, as this can lead to improper sealing. If any damages or irregularities are found, replacing the necessary components is crucial before proceeding to step 20. The third step requires turning the ignition switch to the on position, designated as position 2. This action is essential to power up the vehicle's electronic systems without starting the engine. Setting the ignition this way prepares the vehicle for the next steps in the diagnostic process, including communication with the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. In this state, all necessary vehicle data are accessible, and it allows technicians to clear any previously recorded diagnostic trouble codes. After ensuring that the switch is correctly set to on, you are ready for the next step, which involves clearing the DTC to proceed with necessary tests. In this step, the technician will need to clear the Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This process will remove any stored codes from the ECU, Engine Control Unit memory, allowing for an accurate assessment of the system's current status. Clearing the DTC essentially resets the onboard systems, enabling the technician to conduct fresh diagnostics to determine whether the issues persist. Following this procedure helps ascertain if the previous code was a temporary glitch or indicative of a persistent problem. Allowing for a clean slate is vital in pinpointing whether further action is needed within the EVAP system. Once the DTC is cleared, the technician can advance to the next step in the troubleshooting process. The next step is to perform an EVAP, Evaporative Emission Control System, function test through the HDS, Honda Diagnostic System. This test allows the technician to evaluate the operational state of the EVAP system after any potential issues have been addressed. The results of this test will indicate whether the system is functioning as expected. If the test results return as OK, it suggests that the repair actions taken earlier have resolved the issue. In such cases, it may just be recorded as an intermittent failure, highlighting that the system is currently functional. Conversely, if the test does not yield a satisfactory result, further investigation will be necessary, warranting that the technician proceed to step 6 to explore deeper issues within the system. At this step, turn the ignition switch to the lock position, designated as position 0. This action helps to ensure that all electronic systems are powered down, thus preventing any unintended operations during the upcoming checks. This is a critical safety measure before any hands-on work is performed on vehicle components, especially those related to the EVAP system. Ensuring that the systems are completely shut off allows the technician to safely remove various components, such as the EVAP canister vent shut valve, in subsequent steps. Properly locking the ignition switch acts as an important procedural step, securing the vehicle and safeguarding both the technician and the equipment being inspected. Once the ignition is securely locked, you will be ready to proceed with the next part of the troubleshooting process. Step 7 involves the removal of the EVAP canister vent shut valve from the EVAP canister. This valve is essential for controlling the flow of fuel vapors and ensuring that the system operates effectively. Removing this component is necessary for further diagnostics, particularly when confirming whether the valve is malfunctioning or not. It allows for an in-depth evaluation of the valve and its operations under test conditions. Proper removal techniques should be employed to avoid damaging surrounding components. It is critical that the technician retains awareness of how the system is set up, allowing for effective reinstallation after inspection. Once the valve is successfully removed, the technician can then proceed to connect it for further evaluation. The 8th troubleshooting step requires the technician to connect the 2P connector to the EVAP canister vent shut valve. The 2P connector typically refers to a two-position connector used to establish electrical connectivity between the valve and the vehicle's onboard system. Establishing a secure connection is vital to enable accurate readings and diagnostics. If the connection is not firm, the diagnostic tests may yield incorrect or non-indicative results, wasting valuable time and effort. The established link will enable the valve to receive power and allow for functional testing. Ensuring everything is secured and properly connected prepares you for the next step involving the valve's operation inspection within the diagnostic cycle. In this step, the ignition switch is turned back to the on position, referred to as position 2. This action allows the vehicle's electronic systems to become active again, which is essential for conducting real-time diagnostics. Engaging this step powers the EVAP canister vent shut valve, thereby enabling functional tests to ensure it operates correctly. It sets the stage for comprehensive diagnostics, allowing the technician to verify whether the valve responds appropriately to the commands received from the HDS. An operational valve is crucial for the performance of the EVAP system, as it regulates the flow of vapor. Checking the ignition position is an essential step before moving on to select the required diagnostic function within the HDS. The 10th step involves selecting the EVAP CVS canister vent shut on in the HDS Honda Diagnostic System inspection menu. This selection directs the HDS to initiate tests that evaluate the functionality of the EVAP canister vent shut valve. By activating this command, technicians can observe whether the valve opens and closes correctly when prompted. This operational test is critical to determine if the valve is functioning as intended or if it needs to be replaced. Proper operation of the valve is essential for maintaining the EVAP system's integrity, as it controls vapor flow and preserves vehicle emission standards. Following this step, technicians should interpret the results carefully, as they would inform further actions and adjustments that may be necessary. Final verification of repairs involves confirming that no diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, remain post-repair. This ensures that the issues identified in the EVAP system have been fully addressed. After completing the necessary repairs, conduct final tests on the EVAP system again using the HDS to validate that everything is functioning correctly. Additionally, it's advised to carry out a test drive of the vehicle to further assure that all systems are operational and the check engine light remains off. This last phase serves to confirm not only the repair effectiveness, but also that the vehicle meets emissions compliance requirements. Proper follow-up is essential to avoid recurring issues and ensure long-term vehicle health. Preventive maintenance for the EVAP system is essential to reduce the likelihood of recurring issues such as those indicated by DTC P0457. Regularly checking the fuel cap is a simple yet effective strategy in preventing emissions-related problems. If the cap is loose or missing, it can trigger not only DTC P0457, but also other related trouble codes. Inspecting the condition of the EVAP components periodically will help identify any wear and tear before they can affect vehicle performance. Additionally, educating vehicle users on proper fuel cap usage, such as ensuring it clicks into place, can significantly reduce errors leading to system failures. Engaging in these preventive measures helps maintain vehicle integrity and compliance with emission standards. In conclusion, addressing DTC P0457 promptly is crucial for maintaining the performance and compliance of the 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic's EVAP system. By thoroughly inspecting and testing components such as the fuel fill cap and vent shut valve, technicians can identify and rectify issues effectively. The processes outlined in the troubleshooting steps provide a structured approach to ensuring all systems are functioning correctly. Furthermore, implementing preventive measures, such as regular inspections and educating drivers on proper fuel cap usage, can significantly decrease the frequency of such issues. By understanding the significance of the EVAP system and the implications of DTC P0457, technicians can foster better emissions control and enhance vehicle reliability. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.